hearing the phrase, "Make America Great Again," a lot lately.
But it's not really a new thing. Generations always glorify their heyday as being the best, with words like the good old days.
But if you think about it, things weren't actually that great. In the previous decade, the aughts, we had the mortgage crisis and a little thing called 9/11 that led to a war that I think is over.
In the 90s, school shootings became a trend. The Riley Keene incident led to the LA riots, and then boy bands.
God, that hair was the worst.
Yeah. The 80s! Cold War is still a thing. AIDS becomes a full-blown crisis, and hair metal, which is a pro and a con.
In the 70s, the Watergate scandal happened. Both Ted Bundy and Son of Sam started their serial killer sprees, and the Beatles broke up, and Elvis died. The 60s. The United States got super involved in the Vietnam War. Both JFK and MLK were assassinated, and the Civil Rights Movement was happening, which is great that it happened, but it was 100 years after slavery was outlawed.
The 50s. There was Korea, and also desegregation, which was great, but it wasn't until 3 years later that a major school actually desegregated, and that's only after they called in the National Guard. Aside from that, some pretty great things happened in the 50s. The 50s were pretty good, if you were white, and a man.
40s, World War II.
30s, Great Depression. Is that all you got?
Yeah, I think that's all that there. The 20s! They were roaring, which was great, but gangsters were running rampant and you didn't have penicillin yet.
Until the end of the decade.
Yeah, and then the stock market crashed.
Right. The tens, or the teens, or whatever. Women can't vote yet, the Titanic sinks, and World War I. And we're gonna stop right there.
Because who wants to live before 1910 anyway?
Honestly. And if we go back even further to 1865, anything before then is void because we still have slaves.
Moot.
So, make America great again. When was again? When was the ultimate good old days?
I mean, sure, we have Justin Bieber and Kanye.
Yeah, but we got modern medicine.
Technology rocks.
You're probably watching this on a pocket computer right now.
You know how big those things used to be? A house. They were the size of a house.
And the resolution sucked. So which decade is your favorite? When is the good old days for you? Which one would you pick?